Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Johnny cries over birth blights, Maggie's matrimonial trap, EJ's DNA results. Days of Our Lives, DOOL, spoilers. Exercise videotape for the week of May 6th to 10th reveals that Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, and John Black, Drake Hodgson, will do some designing. Will John manage to flash back that he stole the prenup for Constantine Meliuni's, John Capello's, while under his control? Marlena might be suitable to grip John and bring the pawn's most recent charge to the face. Whatever the case, Days spoilers say John and Marlena will be on to Constantine, so they partake their plan with Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, and ultimately Maggie Kyriakis, Suzanne Rogers. Maggie will cloud as she declares that Constantine has meddled with the wrong redhead. After Marlena updates Maggie on the takedown plot, Steve will ask if she's in. Since Maggie will be mealy over Constantine trying to steal her half of Victor Kyriakis, John Aniston, fortune, she'll surely be on board. Maggie will join the trap they all setting, so that could involve going through the movements and pretending the marriage is going to be as planned. Constantine wouldn't realize he's getting allured into a situation that's going to spell disaster. Other Days spoilers say Sloane Peterson Brady, Jessica Surfety, will push EJ DiMera, Dan Feuereagle, to believe her claims about Jude Brady. Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, is the natural father of Nicole DiMera's, Ariane Zucker, baby, so Sloane will suppose EJ needs to face the data. Still, he could risk his marriage since she might reunite with Eric and raise Jude with him, if EJ spills this news to Nicole. Sloane will wonder if EJ really wants to take that chance. Latterly, EJ will snap at someone over the phone and yell that he wants the DNA results as soon as possible. Once those results come by, EJ will get evidence that Sloane's maternity word was exactly right. Over with Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, he'll tell Teresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, that Victor's will has eventually cleared probate. We've re-gone Nobby set for life, you've re-gone Nobby set for life, Teresa declares in DOOL's daily exercise videotape. Although Teresa will brush past the slip-up for now, Days spoilers say she'll have to be more careful now that the stakes are getting indeed advanced. Back with EJ, he'll comfort a tearful Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, over all the baby drama since Chanel DiMera's, Raven Bowen's, future child could have serious birth blights. Once EJ hears about the details, he'll offer a vaticination about it being too parlous and argue that Chanel shouldn't have this baby. As for Paulina Price, Jackie Harry, she'll cry in Abe Carver's, James Reynolds, arms and ask what she's done. Paulina will condemn herself for exposing Chanel to radiation and putting her bun in the roaster in jeopardy. Days of Our Lives spoilers say the week of May 6th to 10th will bring some emotional scenes. Now that EJ knows the truth, his coming step seems egregious, as does the verity behind Leo's heartbreak. Hey, Jude. The biggest thing to be this week was that a agonized and veritably drunk Leo told EJ that Jude is the baby Nicole allowed. They lost. Also, Sloane filled in the rest. Jude is only Nicole's son, not EJ's. The reveal should have been edge-of-your-seat instigative, but it demanded the impact I was anticipating. I'm still looking forward to what EJ will do with this information. The general agreement seems to be that he'll cut a deal with Sloane and keep quiet so as not to lose Nicole to Eric. I've been staying for EJ and Sloane to team up in some capacity, so I say bring that on. Outside the DiMera manse, EJ grabs Leo by his jacket. Dear John, speaking of Leo, I am not buying Dimitri's bifurcation letter for 1 second. It just didn't ring true. Also, while I am no captivity expert, a Gadarene hunt tells me supermax generally means time largely spent in insulation. When would Dimitri have had the occasion to fall in similar deep love that he replaced Leo in his heart? My working proposition is that someone nabbed him and forced him to write that letter. Or forged his handwriting. Since Gwen is the only other person who knows about Matthew Perry, Leo's law name for Dimitri, my plutocrat's on her. She's presumably still bitter about Dimitri and Leo chaffing around behind her back, and maybe she needs Dimitri to collect the rest of his heritage. Radioactive. I love that Johnny and Chanel are married and wedded and happy. And I am not opposed to them having a family, but they just got married. It remains to be seen what will be with the baby in terms of radiation poisoning, but is there nothing differently for this fun, fascinating couple to do but get pregnant right out of the gate? I actually still can't believe Johnny's family heritage ring and the massive gem of an engagement ring he gave Chanel didn't amount to anything. I truly allowed. They were about to go on a treasure quest, invoking the days, no pun intended, of old. But at least they have plenitude of angst to keep them busy in their own plot rather of playing supporting players to others. In the square, Chanel makes an emphatic point to Johnny. Frowning, he stands with his reverse to her on the road again, the same for Wendy and Trip. They, too, should have been more dynamic, but as Curtis and I both lamented, Wendy's character snappily regressed from meddlesome hacker to typical cleaner heroine. At least she got her painlessly cool vibe back wardrobe-wise, before she and Trip left for an undisclosed quantum of time. My stopgap is that Wendy will discover her parents are minding Furley who they are. Rolf, I miss his shenanigans, whisked down to China and restored to health. Also, the pins, including the maternal numbers, can return to Salem, which the 15,000th occasion party snaps suggest will be for at least the siblings, and come major players. Perhaps also we'll find out if Wei is actually a loving parent, as Wendy stated this week, or the hard-to-please fatherly was so traumatized over in Remedy. Ava, Trip and Wendy walk in the square with light smiles, dazed and confused. I am on board for the PropositionSoaps.com's regular commenter. Tango presented under Friday's recap. John stealing Maggie's prenup for Constantine was one big setup. My only question is, how would John have been suitable to offset the card? Oh, what am I allowing? Marlena presumably deprogrammed him via hypnotism. But if it's not a setup, John could still figure it out because Constantine told him he demanded the prenup before he actuated the pawn. Not the brightest move there, Kenny. Odds and ends, should Alex pull back on his sexual prowess in bed before Kristen makes him her coming preoccupation? Longtime DiMera adjunct Rita is a blast. Her plainness with EJ is so important fun, made indeed better by EJ's recreation and egregious affection for her. Johnny is a DiMera with a gazillion bones. He can't make a film plant in Salem? Or travel now and also to make a movie? Also, what was with his wistfully distracted response to Wendy leaving? That's all I got this time around. What did you suppose of the week in Salem? Partake your studies in the commentary, and also check out the print gallery below of fave couples abandoned by the pens, but not the suckers. EJ's Jude secret, Chanel's baby decision, Xander vs. Stefan, Days of Our Lives spoilers for the week of May 6, 2024 are then. Anticipate EJ DiMera, Dan Feuereagle, to learn the verity about Jude Brady. Still, EJ wouldn't tell Nicole Walker, DiMera, Ariane Zucker, the baby stunner. Plus, Chanel DiMera, Raven Bowens, and Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, have to decide if they want to continue the gestation. Days of Our Lives spoilers, EJ DiMera's insupportable deception. DOOL spoilers for the week of May 6 reveal that EJ will find out that Jude is Nicole's baby. Still, don't anticipate EJ to tell Nicole the verity. While Nicole and Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, are reconnecting at the paper, EJ decides to keep Sloane Peterson Brady's, Jessica Surfety, secret. Since EJ angrily confronts Sloane in an exercise clip, she has to say commodity to neutralize the quarter attorney. Sloane presumably goes ahead and tells EJ the whole verity that Jude is Nicole's baby, but not EJ's. At first, EJ might be confused until Sloane explains. However, there would be no stopping a romantic reunion if EJ tells Nicole that Jude is her baby with Eric. Sloane might move EJ that the only way to save his marriage is to keep the baby down from Nicole.